Hey everyone, Dark Skeleton here once again, and Anub'arak and apparently this harpy, I think that's a harpy anyway, Aviana, have been announced for the new, what's it called? The Grand Tournament. We're not on GVG anymore. But we got these two new cards. Obviously the rogue one was going to be Anub'arak. I think anyone who's played the actual World of Warcraft game would know that just from the card art. And Anub'arak is a 9 mana 8/4, of course, shitty stats. But he's got an interesting death battle. It's kind of like the Malorn. That's the stake deer from the GVG set that the Druids got, where that was a 9/7 for, I think, 7 mana. That returns to your deck when it dies as a death battle. But this guy, 8/4 for stats, and returns to your hand, and then summons a 4/4 Nerubian whenever it dies. So in terms of grinding the game out, Anub'arak is one of the slowest cards, and also one of the most not unbeatable, but you just can't get rid of him. If your opponent doesn't have a silence, the rogue would never really run out of minions. It's kind of the idea I'm getting there. However, can you imagine if this thing got sapped by an enemy rogue or something like that, or freezing trapped? Oh, freezing trap, it's gone forever, actually. Just 9 mana to do nothing when it comes out, and yeah, it can hit your opponent for 8 damage, but as a rogue, are you going to be able to just sit there and be like, oh, I got a 4 health minion on the board that doesn't even have taunt, come at me, bro, and then they're just like, okay, double fireball to the face, oh, okay, Hunter BS combo, 4 kill commands, yeah, whatever. It is along the lines that I wanted it to be, where Anub'arak is this big, bulky guy that kind of carries you into the late game in sort of a control rogue type of thing. But I just don't know about this guy. What I would think is grinder rogue. So you're just trying to run your opponent out of stuff. At some point, your opponent has really slowed down a lot. You still got a couple heal bots, you're okay on HP. You play Anub'arak to basically win more. Your opponent's like, oh god, now I have to kill this guy infinite times or else I just lose. But it's just win more. It doesn't really do much for you except for make sure you don't run out of stuff to play. But would I rather play something like that than, say, Ragnaros? I mean, Ragnaros could just snipe that thing every turn. Though, admittedly, if it did snipe it, you'd be getting free 4/4s. And that's a thing, getting 4/4 Nerubians. If it was like a Nerubian with taunt, that might be interesting. But I just think it's way too slow. Way too slow, even if you're playing control. It's like playing Ysera, but not quite there. I think Ysera's got more on that card in most circumstances, because if you're living for the death battle, you're living for the dream scenario. Anyway, enough about Anub'arak. Next to him, we've got Aviana, a 5/5 for 9, another card with crappy stats, but a very, very interesting card effect. And by interesting, I mean, oh god, if this thing does not die, the game is just over. Your minions cost 1. Is there going to be a card in Druid that gives this stealth? Could you imagine Conceal Aviana? It's like summoning Portal on crack. You just bring out the next turn for like 2 Ancients of Lore, 2 Ancients of War, the Emperor Tharzan, pointlessly. I don't know, just like anything else you have in your deck. Maybe some Druids of the Claw, whatever. Is it good, though? If your opponent has a removal card, it's going to destroy this. It's like the Wilfred Fizzlebang. Too much this card has to die immediately for it to ever live. Now, if there's a way to stealth it, then that becomes scary. Really scary. It already is really scary. But I just see it dying immediately. And it's really slow, too. So it's like, okay, say you put it out on turn 9 or turn 8 with Emperor Tharzan. It becomes a global taunt. The opponent's either going to kill you, which is likely if you're fighting a face hunter, like, oh, okay, got to turn 8 or 9. Well, actually, if you got to turn 8 or 9, you're probably okay. It's a win more card, it feels like. Because if you don't have board control, it's going to die immediately. If you do have board control, then do you really need to play more minions on the back of it? It's interesting, it really is. Oh, you know what, though? Play it on turn 10. That might be better. Now I'm seeing possibilities with this guy. Turn 10 Aviana, Ancient of War for 1 mana. Now that might be something. That's kind of like playing Scenarios, but a lot more taunt. Okay, yeah. Oh, even better! You innovate stuff out. Why did I not think of that? So you innovate, then you play Aviana, Ancient of War, Ancient of War, Ancient of Lore. Now that is a combo. Damn, that's a lot of mana out for 1 turn. Okay, if you have Innovate, or if you have the coin in your hand, you wait till turn 10, you do this, it's a huge tempo swing. If it lives another turn, the game's over. And if you have it behind 1 or 2 Ancients of War, that might actually be kind of hard to remove. Your opponent's going to throw everything at it if they can, otherwise they just concede. Okay. You know, Aviana might actually be a good card. Anub'arak, I just don't see it. I really don't. I feel like your opponent's just going to ignore it and go hit your face until you're dead. And what are you going to do with the Anub'arak? Trade it into a minion, it death rattles into a 4/4. Meh? What are you going to do? Play it again? Sink 18 mana into having a Anub'arak on the field twice? It would have to be a really slow deck that can guarantee your opponent can't go for your face. So if you're playing like Sludge Belcher, Sinjin Shield Masters, something like that. But I just don't see that being viable. Aviana, though, maybe. Anyway, interesting Legendaries. I'm glad they're putting cards like this into the game. Really a lot more interesting than just like a Boulder Fist Ogre or something like that. Anyway, I've been Dark Skeleton. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at these 2 new cards with me. Let me know what you think down below, or if I missed any combos. I very well may have, since initially I didn't see Aviana's potential at all. And aside from that, I'll see you guys next time.